Well, good, everyone. Looks like, let's see here. I'm trying to get the chat up here. Bear with me. Stand by. Having some technical challenges this morning. Let's see here. I think we got that going there. There we go. Okay. Well, it looks like my chat is not working properly. So if you put something in the chat prior to just now, please put it back in the chat because for some reason it wasn't working properly. All right. Okay. Good morning, James.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing well, trying to survive up here in Minnesota. It's crazy.
Is it raining crazy?
About 3.5 days now. We're getting close to 4 inches.
Wow. That's amazing.
Well, I think all our farming efforts are getting slowly washed away.
Yeah. Hey, so I don't think Alex is joining us today. So if you would keep an eye out for Dave. I don't see him.
Okay.
Let's see here. Dave, if you're there, put something in the chat. All right. So let's say good morning here. Christy B, good morning in Hayesville, Kansas. Mary Lease Brown, good morning. Jerry BR. King's Girl 1974. Mama Bear's here. What's that?
Dave is here.
Okay, let's see here if I can find him. Can you bring him up or do I need to?
I can't.
Okay, hold on a second. Oh, here we go. Worked? Yep, I think it did. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, guys.
All right, we're just saying good morning to some people here. Deb M, Mary Ann Thompson. I'm married to Bob is here. Christy B is here. Joy here. Mama Bear and Lori Christine. DC is here. Good morning, DC. Toey Bixby. Chris Randy Dragonfly. Boy, the whole group is piling in here. So I think it's just going to be us today, guys. He had a previous commitment, and I think Alex said something with his family that he's taking care of. So it's going to be up to us to hold down the fort. All right. So there's a lot of speculation right now with all that President Trump is doing, all of the, and we're going to get to this in a minute, but just off the top of your head, James, what do you think of this whole Golden Dome thing?
Well, there's a lot to be talked about at that whole thing. The Golden Dome is an estimated startup cost of about $25, and
which doesn't seem like much for something like that to me.
But that's startup.
Yeah,
that's just a startup. They're estimating it to end up being a cost between $101 and $540 billion.
Wow.
And in the end, it could be several $trillion.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it has more to do with than just defense?
It could very well be. In the several articles that are on this topic, they do often mention 7,000 Starlink satellites with Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that aviation wanted to retool our communication system between ground aircraft and aircraft to aircraft. So I think some of that probably going to the Starlink, I guess, monetary fund, if you will.
Well, I wonder too, with all the money that President's putting into the air traffic control, I wonder if that plays a part in it.
It could very well be. People don't really know what Golden Dome is, but it's a satellite-based missile sensing and missile system. There's only one way to really beat Golden Dome, and that's by launching multiple missiles at the same time, or several, like hoping one can get through. And that's the only way to beat the system. The system will be working with NORAD, U.S. North Command, and U.S. Space Command, and it's partnering with Starlink.
Wow. Well, it doesn't surprise me with the whole Starlink thing, especially with all the money and time that Elon and President Trump have put into it. Hey, let me say good morning. Some mornings here. Good morning, Joy. Lori Christine is here. Oh, that's my place there. Sorry about that. Let's see here. We have Travelers here. Hey, Traveler, thank you for the gifts. Franny Drankenfly, thank you for all the gifts. And so stop sending money overseas and invest it in America. Well, I agree. I think that's what's happening. And I think a lot of money from outside of the United States is coming in to the U.S. Dave, what are your thoughts on it? And as well as this Golden Dome thing?
Yeah, well, the Golden Dome obviously has been test trialed in Israel and everything else, correct, on that side of the deal? So,
well, I don't know if it's the same technology or not, but they do have some sort of dome, but I don't know that it's the same technology.
Well, I think most of that came from us, so obviously it's an additional or add that deal. And like you said, with Elon and being involved to that and space, all the stuff that he's dealt with and his relationship with the administration. So there's more to that story too, I'm sure.
Right, exactly. All right, let's track here because Alex is in here. So my apologies. James, did you have a military report other than the Golden Dome?
I do. So as far as the Israeli war, on day number 593, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth during a review of the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, looking into the deaths of 13 U.S. soldiers and 170 civilians.
Wow.
And that was by a lot of people don't know how that happened, but it was by a suicide bomber in the Kabul airport, Abbey Gate. And it was after 20 years of occupation. I don't know if you want me to get into the newest military jet that the United States is trying to procure for the military. It's called Windrunner.
Oh, and what's the details with that?
Windrunner is the largest aircraft to ever be built. It has an 80-meter wingspan, or 63 feet.
Wow.
In width, and 108 meters long, or 350 feet. So it's basically essentially the same size as a football field.
Wow.
It was originally made to transport turbine air blades, or blades for those wings. And the military decided, hey, that's a pretty good idea. We better capture that. So, and it's made by a company called Radia, and they're in Colorado.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
So that's all I've got for right now.
Hey, Dave, what are we looking at farming and agriculture?
I was going to cover Alex a little bit.
Oh, cool.
The Dow Jones is down 385 this morning. The Nasdaq's up 89, and the S&P is down 7. Today's gold value, I was just looking it up here.
Well, and I did see that Bitcoin broke another record this morning.
Jeez, it's not surprising too. So,
It is.
Kind of going away from the stock market and going back again.
Yeah. What is gold at today? Do you have it pulled up?
It's silver is up 43 cents. Gold price is up also to it's up $30, $3,314 as of today. So
Wow.
Back up again for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
For the corn market and the deal, corn's up overnight, and on the news, RFK Jr. tells farmers not to worry about the report of targeting pesticides and stuff as of right now.
What does that mean?
So, meaning he's not going to pull the rug out from under us, probably on Roundup and probably on some of the pesticides we use. I mean, if they got out, our yields would drop instantly and hurt everything on that part of the deal. So
yeah,
I think it's going to be a stair-stepping and looking to find stuff to replace that before we yank the rug out.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Crystal Mariner's here over on YouTube. Hey, Crystal. Wendy is here this morning. Lisa Maria, of course. Scratch 65 is in the house. Susie Kabluzzi is here. Annie, Mama, and Donna, thank you for all the gifts. It's really appreciated. Kim 55 here. Hey, Kim. Nana's here as well. Boy, we got a lot of piling in here. And it looks like we've got a lot of new people in here. So if you're new to the TikTok channel, button, we do this day live 5 days a week. I also do the daily dispatch, which is 5 days a week. Oh, look at that. Got some new glasses. That looks pretty cool.
Nice.
That,
3D glasses.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So anyway, hopefully you can make it every day. And also too, we have subscriptions on TikTok. Now, if you purchase a subscription and it's expired, you can go back and re-up it if you'd like. We have new private lives we're doing where we can discuss things much more freely than when we're on the open forum. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I would encourage you to grab a. It's like $2.99 a month, and not only does it benefit the channel, but it makes you part of our inner circle. We can all talk openly on those private lives. All right, so let's see here. Oh, Mama Bear said she's making popcorn. Excellent. Hey, LSE03 is here. Good morning. Breezeway is here. Good morning, Breezeway. Iceman said that vinegar replaces Roundup. What do you know about that, Dave?
Yeah, they use a little bit of dish soap, a little bit of vinegar, and it kills off the weeds. But the problem is it also kills off the corn. So it's good around landscaping and stuff like that. Spray on the corn, and that's a vinegar mow. So I agree. Around the house and everything, that product does work pretty good.
Right. Okay. And did you ever hear back from Pat? I'd like to get him on this week.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing. And I'll give him a call after the fact. I was thinking about that this morning.
Yeah, I spaced it. I should have yesterday, and I spaced it.
Yep. I'll get it.
Okay.
Dave, I do have a question. Dave, with all this Midwest water, do you think that's contributing to the grain prices coming up?
Yeah, I do. And then, of course, the tariffs and stuff, and as Trump works through the countries. Like I said, India's a whole brand new resource for us. So it's something we've never tapped into, and that's going to be a big thing. And it sounds like the China deal around. So as soon as that locks in, I think we're going to see things skyrocket like nobody's ever seen before.
So what do you mean about the India thing?
India had such high tariffs on us prior to this. It was never a market that we've really utilized.
Oh.
And rumor has it that they're going to be stuff down to a zero tariff for us.
Wow.
And if that's the case, that's 1.2 billion people. It's an open market. So.
Wow. That's for exporting to them, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. God, that could be huge.
That is huge. That's just as big as China.
Wow.
Just as big as China.
Wow.
So that's definitely a replacement.
Crazy. I had no idea.
Right.
Thanks for the update, Dave. Right. So PJ Party's here. Good morning. Yes, you are late, young lady. That's all right. We'll scold you later. Choose Your Poison said, what do you mean skyrocket? Well, I think what you're trying to say, Dave, is that the amount of volume would increase significantly, right? You want to talk a little more about that?
The farm side of it, especially on the farm side of it. Beans and corn and everything that they utilize over there will be open. That's a market we've never really tapped into that much. So if it's a brand new market, it will open us up, and I think it's going to be big across for sure the farming and as economy and everything else. Anything we can use, if we can move product to them, it's all better. So
right.
So Dave, do you think that actually that with the prices of grain going up in foreign markets that we would ship to, do you think that used and new equipment prices?
Yes, that'll walk hand in hand. Right now, you're seeing low pricing, all the farm equipment sitting in dealers' lots everywhere. Which, in the same breath, you're looking at Jack Everett, but they're also investing on the technical side a lot of stuff. So they're kind of going away from relying all on the equipment. They're going more technical, more innovative. So it's pros and cons of both. So
when it comes to when you talk about technology are there people that are using drones at this point for farming purposes?
Yep. Yes, sir.
And how big
more? As it grows, it goes bigger and bigger. Drones are really utilized they can be utilized for cover crop after the fact, fertilizing, foliar, insecticides. You're still going to utilize a lot of the bigger sprayers for the initial nitrogen and applications on that. But a lot of this stuff, as we're producing more and more yields, so we're not just putting the stuff on planting and walking away from it. We're going back every 2 weeks, or going back every month and utilizing and watching. And you go out and take samples of the leaves and you send them in and say, okay, what's this corn need? And we do a sample of the leaves and see, and then the next pass, a week later, we can utilize cobalt, uranium, all kinds of stuff. So it's getting more technical. Not only do we have to repair our stuff, we also have to be chemists here on the farm. So
yeah. Seems like it. James.
Right.
James, what are your thoughts on that?
It's called giving it the groceries, Sam.
Yeah, that's right.
What do you mean?
Well, as Dave said, spoon feed it, give it things that the plant needs, that the crop needs to flourish.
Okay.
And we call it buying the groceries for the field, you know.
Oh, okay, from the supply side, right? Okay.
Exactly.
Crypto Dad said aerospace and defense opens massive military engines factory in Oklahoma City. I didn't know that. Did you hear anything about that, James?
I have not heard anything about that yet. I scan that kind of stuff pretty heavy.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen that. But going back to your question about innovation, there are certain guidance programs that Case International and John Deere offer where the government can actually see what you're putting in the grain tank, what you're actually harvesting.
I got a little friend there.
So brother can actually keep an eye on the farmer. And that's not a fan of, but it's something that they do. It's kind of like Big Brother tapping into our phones and into our conversation.
Right.
They can actually see our harvest.
Wow. Well, I can remember, God, going back probably 30 years ago, a friend of mine, a friend of the family who I'd known since I was a child. He's no longer with us, God rest his soul, but he used to work at the Rand Corporation. This was 35 years ago. And I remember him telling me back then that the satellites were so accurate that the numbers of blades of grass back 35 years ago. So could you imagine what we have today? I don't think we have any idea of what I think the government's 50 years ahead of where we think they are. That's just my opinion.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's see. Hey there. Good morning, Leonard. Let's see. Choose your poison. I asked, what do you mean, Scott? I think we explained that, but if you have any other questions, put it in the chat. Mama Bear said, I love these gifts. They're so fun. You on the air. Well, thank you, Mama Bear. Yeah, it just kind of cracks me up because every time one of those pops up, especially ones that I haven't seen, I kind of lose my train of thought. I see something shiny and I'm traveling down looking at the swirl. So my apologies if I lose my train of thought. Charlie's here. Hey, good morning, Charlie. She's here. Good morning, Sherry. Okay, so let's jump over to the New York Post talking about Jill Biden being charged for elder abuse after claims she knew about Joe's health issues. Now, we've got Daddy D's here as well. So we've got Joe Biden. We've got how many people in the cabinet, how many press secretaries under the Biden, and I use the term administration. I mean, my God, even a clip not just a day or so ago, maybe this morning, about and even they are trying to hold President Biden to some form of accountability. I mean, if The View is doing that, and the cat's out of the bag, right? What do you think, Dave?
It's unbelievable. And I think the whole Joe Biden thing is just a right to it. Obviously, it's probably not going to lead anywhere, but it could open a can of worms on their end of it to start the ball rolling.
Yeah, well,
I truly believe that's what it's for.
Well, I think you're right. I think it's exposure 101. James, what do you think?
Well, I think you're talking basically about borderline spousal abuse. But as far as when the military or the cabinet gets a hold of Joe Biden and they take him behind another door, I don't think Joe Biden's holding his hand. Jill is part of it, but I don't think when you're talking about a spouse when they were alone, she probably did care for him. So, like, it's probably something just to bring it to light.
Right. And that, and President Trump's been talking a lot about the auto pen. A lot of people are talking about the auto pen pardons, the auto pen for executive orders that were used. You're in your hands, James. Exactly. I think we are going down a road that's going to lead to huge exposure. James, what are your thoughts?
Well, they've already identified who's responsible for it, who was bribed into signing, and I believe his name is James Coburn. that was the individual that was bought and said, "Hey, I'll go ahead and initiate that." They've already proven every auto signature was purchased, and it was not Joe Biden's directive.
What do you?
The people basically bribed him into it. They told him, "Hey, look, we need a signature on this. You know, we'll make sure you're monetarily benefited from this. So go ahead and execute a signature for that."
Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh, that time we got. What's that, Dave?
In the same breath, that Obama's back in the conversation too. So
Not only is he back in the conversation, he is being highlighted, especially over with the Diddy trial. We've got Diddy was supposedly taking some form of drug that was in the shape of President Obama. I mean, I don't know how much more in the crosshairs they can put him, other than chrome bracelets. Which, speaking of chrome bracelets, oh, never mind, I won't go there. But but yeah, they are certainly highlighting Obama, and I don't think it's. I don't know when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen, but it's sure to me like it's coming. Yep. All right, let's see here. Let me see if I can get some of these. Mama Bear said, honestly, I think it was Obama pulling that auto pin. Well, I think that's what they had led us to believe, that it was Obama pulling the strings. I personally don't believe that. I think Obama is under. I think that a lot of the people that we've been seeing are under submission. They're told what to do and what not to do. And again, this is just speculation on my part. I think that Obama's not a good guy, and I think he needs to be held to accountability. But I think this rabbit hole goes much deeper. I mean, when you talk about the Trilateral Commission or the FR, or you talk about the Bilderbergs, or you talk about Skull and Bones, any of those organizations, they're all the same people, and I think those are the power brokers behind the politicians. The politicians are just the front men. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you think, James?
I think Obama was under submission at the freak-off shows, or whatever they called those, with yesterday in court, by the way. So I think they're all toast.
Right.
And I feel like I remember the one article or interview that Obama had said, if I could run a third term with a man or a woman in front, I will get away from that. I'm like, well, you put Joe in that doesn't know where he's at anyway.
Right.
He's your pump. That's what I can't get away from. So where it goes from there, no idea, but it makes me wonder. That's
a really good. But again, was that placed there specifically to draw attention and to lead people in a certain direction? Because we know the government likes to do something with their right hand while the left hand's doing something else. Distraction, redirection, those types of things. But who knows? I mean, time will tell. Scratch said that Obama needs some charges against him. Well, I think it's coming, Scratch. I really do. Hey, Tanya Moonsheimer made it. Good morning, Tanya. SF Trash Panda 79 said, happy hump day. Well, happy hump day to you too. Hey, Martin's WB made it. Good morning, Martins. Jerry said, well, maybe that's why they put Harris there to run. Well, again, I don't think for a second that the Democrats and when I say the Democrats, I'm talking about all nefarious players in the government. It could be Democrats, it could be independents. It doesn't matter. But my personal opinion is that you have people that have been put in place. What is that all about, Dave?
It's hump day.
I was going to make fun of my Lebanese heritage. Because they do call us camel jockeys from time, and there's another term anyway. I won't go down there. But now I completely lost my train of thought after seeing that camel. That's a good one. I like that.
I didn't mean to get you all worked up.
That's all right. You did. I liked it. That's absolutely great. Sarah Catherine said, I love it, Dave. Yeah, exactly. Leonard Little said that's his new pet. That's her new pet, Dave? Oh, my gosh. All right, now, RFK Jr. urged that other countries to join the U.S. and leave WHO. Now, I think it's a bunch of rats exiting the WHO ship, but what do you guys think? Dave, what's your thoughts?
Well, it's all a step-by-step process. Obviously, RFK hasn't been a lot of noise, not as much as I expected to start right at the beginning. It's a slow roll on RFK's side. So I think this is his first bite, and it's going to get noisier and noisier. So,
Right. James?
Well, obviously there are things that are happening behind the scenes that we don't know about, but it is get interesting.
Yeah, 100%. I think from an exposure standpoint, I think maybe we know 10% of what's really going on. And I think President Trump has alluded to that many times. You know, he talks about, go ahead, Jim.
If you look at, if you use like Thailand, where the ingredients in most of the foods that they, none of those ingredients in our food. Right. All the bad things that we eat on a daily basis, weight, whether it gives you anxiousness, anxiety, there's so many different things that so many different foods that the U.S. allows us to eat. And obesity obviously is one of the concerns.
Right.
And all that leads to nothing other than pharma.
Right. And I find very interesting what the real problem in America is, and this is just my opinion, is toxicity, which any industrialized society you're going. And the second is nutritional deficiency. The body has to have 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 essential fatty acids every day in homeostasis. We don't get a fraction of that in our food. So if you're eating this garbage food, your body is going to suffer for it. But the body is an incredible machine. Will make adjustments to keep people going. But that's exactly right. It's toxicity and nutriency. And I see that coming more and more into the narrative, especially with RFK Jr. Because he's been on that train. Well, not, but he's been on that train a long time. And he gets it.
Yeah. I mean, as close as Canada, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they don't have the junk in their food like we do. And I think there was something sick or they took out a while back that wasn't good for the body, but it was still going into our foods.
Right.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Sam, in all the things that you said, this minerals, 12 this, 13 of that, I mean, you lost me. You put me in the dust way back there. But of all those minerals and things that we should get, things that we don't get on a daily basis, what do you think does the most harm to the human body on a daily basis of deprivation?
Boy, that's a tough call, James, because everybody's body is different, right? You know, you have some people like to take what's called the shock, and what I call the shock approach, where you add extra B vitamins to your diet, you know, B6, B2, B1, whatever. And then other people add C into their diet or vitamin D3. Well, we don't know what our body needs. Our bodies know what we need, what it needs. So if it doesn't have it available, it can't use it. And my brother, Dr. Mike, God rest his soul, he used to talk about it this way. He said, have you ever been in a grocery store? And let's say vegetable vegetable section. And out of the corner of your eye, you catch a vision of a right? And all of a sudden, you start craving a radish, right? Well, that's your body's innate intelligence saying, hey, I need something that's in that radish. Go buy it and eat it, right? So I think that because everybody's body is different, everybody's at different levels, you have to have a mainline mental nutritional coverage. And what I use is a product called Beyond Tangy Tangerine. It was developed by Dr. Joel Wallach. I've followed Dr. Wallach for decades. And really, you get 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 essential fatty acids every portion. Now, people that are interested in getting shalhoub.com, there's a button on my website that says get your supplements here. Click on that button. It'll take you to the website and get the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. It's the only product on the market that I'm aware of that has everything that you need. And that's just from our baseline. So, James, that it's one specific thing because we don't know what our bodies need. Our bodies know what they need. And it's like what I call innate intelligence. It's the same principle when, let's touch your hand. You don't need to sit there and say, okay, body, send white platelets to that area, repair it. It knows what to do. It's the same thing with food. You know, you can, and another analogy I've used many times is if you have an internal combustion engine and you put it runs. If you put water in it, it doesn't run. But if you put gas in with a little water, it runs, but it doesn't run that great. So that's what's happening here, is that our bodies need all of these different supplements that we don't get in our food supply. And Dave, I'm sure you comment on the soil. I mean, that's what Pat and Soil Savers is all about. And I really want to get him on. But that's the basic premise of it. So these minerals come from the soil, and they're just not there anymore.
Yeah, and it's opened up a whole new horizon for me. And I wanted to say, I see Alex in the chat. I don't know if he can come on at all, but I seen him.
Is he here?
Yeah, I see him in the chat. He sent us.
I don't know. I'll just send him an invite if he. But I don't see him in the chat.
Yeah, he was on there.
He was.
Sam, does that equate to the same thing when I drive by a liquor store and see a bush?
No, I mean, yeah, no. That's a whole different program, because I think that Bush Light leads to a certain type of chrome bracelet. That's just my opinion. I don't know, but that's possible. Alex, hey there.
Coming to you live from the graduation ceremony of 2025 of our little third graders.
Congratulations.
On the scene for
She said thank you.
Well, we were just talking about, huh?
I don't have to stay on camera. Just letting you guys know I'm alive. I survived the great graduation event of 2025. I can moderate comments, or I can stay on camera. TikTok it when they see these car seats behind you. Oh, Allie said I have to get in the mood for summer.
There we go.
Oh, how cute.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's summer.
Yeah, summer.
Hey, we're live. You behave.
Oh, Allie Mae, are we going to have to pull the camera now? Uh-huh.
We have a hula hoop sloth.
Excellent. Oh, wonderful.
I was listening in for a while, and for some reason when I clicked guests, I don't you've changed, but it did not give me the option to request. I could see everybody as a moderator, but it wouldn't let me request. So thanks for inviting me up.
I didn't change anything, so I don't know what happened, but I know that there's something going on with TikTok because a lot of things have changed. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they changed the algorithm. I have no idea, but maybe we'll talk about that off camera.
Well, I'm an IT guy, TikTok, if you need one.
Exactly. Believe me, I'm sure they do. So we were just talking, Alex, about all these different supplements and how your body craves these different supplements. And just as James said, well, does Bush Light count as one of the supplements? That's when you popped on. So just so you know.
I was privy to about 3 minutes of conversation, and just so you know, James, no, not.
Right.
Exactly.
Eat my grains, and I thought that was part of it.
Right. Exactly.
Well, Alec, there, I'm going to suggest that. Put up a background so we can see it.
There we go. I mean, holy smokes. Look at all. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I went through. There's a lot in the chat that I didn't get to. If there's anything really important that you guys put it in again, because, wow, like a lot of people there. Oh, and also, everyone, if you're new on TikTok, little button. I do a dispatch and we do a live 5 days a week. And if you're interested, you can become a subscriber, and we will be doing private lives, just subscribers, and we'd love to have you be part of it. So anyway, just wanted to get that out there. Vin Hogue said selenium is key in Beyond Tangy Tank. That's very true. Selenium is very important. Choose your poison. Yeah, and anybody, if you have questions about these, send me a message or send me an email. I can walk you through the process. It's super easy. And like I said, I've been involved with Youngevity for a long time, and I know their products. So I'd be happy to help any way I can. All right. Karen said, I crave cayenne pepper. Pepper is a very important type of pepper, and it is a detoxifier. It actually helps boost hormonal in the human body. I mean, it's a great thing to have. Karen, keep it up. All right. Bear said, congratulations, Alex. That's cool. Same thing from Donna Fox. Congratulating you and your daughter. Excellent. Jerry's digestive system. Yeah, that's a whole nother subject. But yes, you're right, Jerry. All right. So let's move over to President Trump coming out and saying he's not going to get rid of Medicaid. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. And they did pass the bill for no tax on tips, which is one portion of it. And I see a lot of people blackpill. What about this, Martin? What about give him time? I mean, it's happening. He's promised no tax on tips. And if I remember right, you guys, that was the first thing he promised. The first thing that got accomplished. Next was no tax on no time and then Social Security. So we're in the beginning stages. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, and it's obviously Reynolds with some deep state Republicans there switching over. So hopefully I believe that's still got to pass the House, but I'm not mistaken on that. But hopefully it pushes through on that also.
Yeah, exactly. Dave, Alex, any thoughts?
Quite frankly, I'm tired of winning. There's more winning left to do. Ladies and gentlemen, be patient. We're gonna win.
Exactly. James?
Well, it's left is trying to create so much rhetoric, and you can see that just by scrolling through TikTok on a daily basis. There's so many victories that President Trump and his cabinet have achieved in such a short time. Any inkling, and I'll give you a good example. Big fancy jet from Qatar. Everybody said, "Well, you can't take that as a personal gift." And I mean, just a little bit to run with, and they put the noose around themselves. It's absolutely crazy.
Does that mean we can send Statue of Liberty France?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And what do they say? They mistake but whisper his accomplishments. I mean,
yeah, that's a great way to phrase that.
Yeah.
It's do as I say, not as I do with them. Like it's narrative constantly is a distraction from what should be incredible winning celebratory conversations, and the left and this app is terrible about it too. A conversation like ours, while we do have a fair amount of viewers, you let a couple of people start arguing and let it get heated and let it be about just the most ridiculous topics, and there'll be 500 to 1,500 people in there. And it blows my mind how the algorithm pushes that agitation narrative, right? So thank you all for being with us in our calm little corner of the world.
Right. And how many of those do maybe bots too? I have no idea. They do that specifically for that reason.
I mean, I'll take the bots as long as they're giving gifts. I mean, let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't we mention yesterday with the executive orders that President Trump signed, how many have actually made it to law?
Quite a few.
Really?
Yeah, they're getting confirmed. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say they have been made it to law. They're on the fast track to become law. And I think Congress is. Well, I'm not going to get into that whole devolution, continuity of government thing, but I think some of what we're seeing, maybe a large portion of what we're seeing, is happening the way we think it's happening. And I'm just going to leave it at that. But that's just my personal opinion.
When you see the vote 100-0 on no tax on tips,
yeah, exactly.
I'm waiting for the vote when they say no capital gains. Period. That's the one that I'm waiting on.
It's coming. It's coming, in my opinion. All right, hey, let's do a quick sponsor reach out here. So, as you all know, Mike has sponsored me from the beginning. If you want to get some great American products, support a good American company and a good American man, Mike, and support this channel, go to mypillow.com or mystore.com and use discount code SAM. Also, Neil Naturopathic, the only toxin-free, chemical-free hair care products in America today that I'm aware of. Go to naturopathic.com, type in the code SAM20, that's SAM20, and you'll get a 20% discount. Of course, Dr. Peter Glidden, if you go to samshalhoub.com, click on his button, it'll take you to his website. You can ask him any question you need about health and wellness, and he will back us up on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and on that train with me a long time. And the second button on my website will take you to his new book. It's what do you call those? Encyclopedias. And if you use the code SAM, you'll get 10% off. Are you able to talk about cybersecurity?
Cybersecurity, ladies and gentlemen, you're the number one threat to your organization. So if you're not training them on the pitfalls of cybersecurity, such as phishing, using their work email address for outside third-party vendors, you are opening the door to potential disaster. Risk Tool Technologies, risktool.com. We help train your staff. We help you with compliance, with automated training systems and compliance management. So for the rest of the month of May, into our little world, we will refund the first month of service to those as a. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Alex. Hey, Rose R. Red PC is here. Boy, that's a tongue twister. Deb M says that TikTok pushes negative energy. Well,
Blue.
What's that? Oh, yeah. So I agree. I think it's controversy which breeds conversation, and I'm okay. It's important to have the conversation and have that conversation going. Well, sometimes controversy is the way to do it. Telly Bixby said, I bought a King from Mike Lindell and lots of very soft sheets. Great customer service. Right. Mike is doing a special this week. You can get any of their Giza sheets for $49.98, any size, any color. And again, you're supporting the company and supporting this channel. Thank you for that, Toey. Yes, Mike Lindell is a true page. I agree, 100%. All right, you guys, so let's move over to yesterday. All major mobile and internet networks went out across Spain. This is just a few weeks after they had that blackout. James, what do you make of that?
Well, I don't know which providers are giving Spain their service, but I kind of calculate that change from Verizon in their technology to Starlink in their technology. I think that might be part of it. It just really doesn't. That's why an entire nation goes black.
Right.
It's kind of crazy.
Well, I think it's part of what I call the switch. The switch is not only it is. Oh boy, is it Friday? No, it can't be Friday yet. But yeah, it's the switch. It's the hump day. It's the switch. Not only politically, not only monetarily, but nationally as well. So I think that's part of it. Dave, what do you think?
Well, it's the same way Puerto Rico, or who lost power on their island. Have we ever heard why and what the reason was for most of that?
No idea.
You never hear it back, do you? You just
Right.
see the front side. You never see the back side of why.
Right. Exactly. Hey, Dana Mackey made it. Hey, Dana. Good to see you. Maybe I just saw you now. Donna Fox, thank you for all the gifts. Alex, did you want to comment on that last?
Do you want to come in at a landing?
Yeah.
I'm on my way to space to fix the solar flare affected flux capacitor, taking out all internet. No, look, when you talk about technology, literally, there are billions, if not trillions, of variables. And so I'm always, like you said, Sam, the 48, 72-hour rule. I'm not quick to jump on the bandwagon of it was something nefarious, or it was this, or it was that. I mean, literally, it could have been a tech who either had too much coffee or not enough coffee, clicked the wrong button, and took out the whole damn system. It happens. It
Right.
really does. Could it be solar flares? There is a significant, 2 point something, yes, that tech things. I mean, so until we get to the bottom of what's really going on, like you're covering this today or not, or have already, but like the flight systems, the air traffic control systems in multiple places going down multiple times. Is it part of a bigger story, a bigger narrative? I mean, I think the narrative, whether it's nefarious or not, is, man, we need to do some overhauling of the systems, financial, flight, all of it. So I'm optimistic. But what a more futuristic, up to date world looks like for us.
Well, I think you're right. And we did touch on this earlier, Alex, about the amount. There's a lot of narrative being seeded over the last couple of years about planes, having trouble and, Boeing doing this and doing that. And then you have President Trump drawing attention to the air traffic controllers. And then you have these sky pilot, or these, what do they call the thing we talk about, the air taxis, right? All of that to me is combined. They're prepping the narrative.
Drone tax.
Yeah, they're prepping the narrative for this new wave of the new wave of air traffic control. And I think all of that part of what we're talking about here. James, what do you think?
Yeah, maybe the same case. Maybe it could be a little bit of everything on what.
Oh, wow. Hey, I just got a message saying interstate inmates live content contains themes that some may find uncomfortable if they remain in your live will be unavailable to some audiences. What the heck?
James, drop out and come back in. It looks like he's got a utensil like vaping. So just drop out and come right back.
Okay, I think
my microphone. Okay.
Yeah, try that. That was weird. I've never seen that before, and it just singled out James. Huh. Anyway, can you guys see him come back in, or do I need to watch for him?
I don't know if Alex was linked to it.
I'll watch for
Oh,
him.
I got it. I got it.
No, I'm just trying to keep the noise down while we're rolling.
Okay.
No, his microphone looked like he was potentially, those little puff pass things. So maybe that's what it was. But him dropping him back in, we're good. Keep rolling.
Okay, cool. All right, James, are you back?
Not yet.
Okay. I can hear you, but I can't see you there. Listen. Oh, Mama Bear said, "Hey, what do we need to make you dance?" Well, it's 75 likes. So if you want that to happen, it's going to happen quick. Oh, and Brian said, "Get it on the TikTok shop." Exactly. All right, so let's talk about Home Depot saying it's going to keep its prices steady after President Trump berated Walmart. Now, is this a dog and pony show? Is this, I don't know what to make of it. Dave, what do you think?
Well, I think they're falling in line. And obviously Walmart's on the other side of that. So we'll see how that shakes out for the future.
Right. James?
Well, you have to think about price. And they made it law when COVID was around that, hey, if you're price gouging, we're going to hit you. Now tariffs come by. What about all the product that Walmart already had or Home Depot already had? The tariffs really don't affect that product that they have already in stock. It's kind of like a full tanker full of fuel at a gas station for $2.10. Next day it goes up to $2.40. Are the greedy retailers going to immediately raise the price up, or are they going to let that go first and then raise? So I get both sides, but I think President Trump's right by making that requirement or that question.
Right. Yeah, we'll have to see. Alex, any comment?
Not so much as the tariffs, but let's look at the marketing brilliance of their marketing department to say, hey, here's an opportunity for.
Oh, Alex, we're losing you.
George Jetson lost.
Alex, we're not hearing you. We're getting fourth word.
Well, we were speaking about Walmart the other day, and I very Walmart. I was walking past the electronics place and looked over, and there's an 80 flat screen TV for $599.
Wow.
That's what I said.
Wow.
But I don't think anybody's buying any TVs anymore. I think it's on its way, between the handheld devices and everything that we're dealing with. I think TVs are literally on their way out.
Could very well be. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Jesus, how many screens do we have, right? Computer screens, right. iPad screens, phone screens, this screen, that screen. I know. Yeah. Oh, well. All right. So I think we lost Alex. At least I couldn't hear him.
He's got a red mark by his name, so he's low.
Oh, so basically TikTok.
Kind of here.
There he is.
What was that, Alex?
I think.
I'm in a hole.
All right, we're moving on.
Hat's blocking the signal.
We're moving on. All right. So Elon Musk yesterday confirmed that Tesla will have self-driving robo-taxis on the streets of Texas in June. Oh my God. James, what do you think?
Well, you knew it was. I mean, they have it in semis. They have it almost in air. Well, they do have it in air with drones. It was a matter of time. I mean, this is groundbreaking technology. It's actually hitting the road. I'm kind of surprised that they chose to break out, but isn't that where they produce those vehicles? It is probably Texas.
Yeah, I mean,
so for them to have that, and my question is, are they going to have docking stations from the back to after if they stay too big, going from one ride to the next, or are they going to opt out and go back into a charging style to get juiced up again?
I'm sure there's got to be
a lot of logistics at play here.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And I think that again is part of this, what I call the air traffic control system. I think is going to be integrated with whatever it is that they're doing. That's just my opinion, but it sure seems to me like that would make sense. Dave?
Well, two lives in a row, I think it was 2 or 3 lives in a row, talked about the LAA having flying taxis.
Yeah.
Now we're having 3 months away, or is it 3 months away? I think it was, or 3 years away.
Yeah.
And now we're talking self-driving taxis in Texas.
Right.
And like I said, the drone technology have swarming. You push a button, the drones talk to each other to go out and spray a field, and they know where each one of them's at.
Right.
It's here. It's fast.
100% I agree. 100% I agree. All right, let's see here. We have Scratch 65 said the market's flooded with TVs. That's true. Red PC, thank you for all the gifts. It's appreciated. Scratch 65 said the IT guy's having a problem with his feed. Exactly. All right, so let's move on to the last, you guys. And we talked a little bit about it already, but I think it's important. Unanimously passing the no tax on tips 100 to 0. I think we're going to be seeing a whole lot more when it comes to the abolition of income tax, the abolition of the taxes that I don't believe are constitutionally correct anyway. But what do you think, James? What do you?
It's about time that they bring this in. And one thing that I wonder about oftentimes, to get 100 to 0 vote, I mean, they couldn't, like poor little DJ, our honorary Secret Service agent, they wouldn't stand for him. But all of a sudden now they're starting to come around on things like no tax on tips. It makes me wonder what has been wagered against these people to say, hey, look, you're going to play ball or else. That's what comes to my mind. Hopefully that we can become a bipartisan country again. I don't know if they're being forcibly driven to that or if they're just coming to their common senses.
Right.
Makes me wonder.
Right. Dave?
Yeah, you're seeing it on the state level too. No state tax. What is it, up to 13 states? Or how many states are actually no tax now? Is it that many already? Or
I don't know how many for sure.
Texas, Florida.
South Florida.
It's all going in that direction. Sure. So I think that's just the tip of the iceberg on what's coming.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. All right, everybody. Well, I think we have reached the end of the dispatch today. I think what we'll do is we'll move into final thoughts. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Oh, my God. I can't believe.
No, we're not. We are not.
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe you guys. I looked up a minute ago. It was like 60,000. I said, oh, we're not dancing today. Oh, my goodness. We just broke 70.
The best part about it is our music man's not available.
But I think Dave can do it. Dave is good at it. All right, everybody. Dave, can you cue?
It is queuing up as we speak.
All right, everybody. We're going to be doing some dancing today. So everybody up. Everybody stand up. Everybody dances today here at home on TikTok. I'll see a bunch of dancing emojis in the chat. Come on, let's go. There we go. There we go. More dancing emojis. Everybody at home, stand up. Come on, we're on it. The Trump dance. Come on. There we go. Lots of dancing emojis. There we go. There we go. Good, everybody. Lots of dancing emojis in the chat. Love to see it. Come on now. There we go. There we go. Hey, good job, everybody. 75,000. I can't believe we hit it. I didn't think there was any chance of us getting to that point, but you did it, everybody at home. Incredible. Look at all those dancing emojis. I love it. Good job, everybody. All right, guys, let's move to final thoughts. James?
Well, don't forget the Cherry Month, and just a reminder of all our men and women that are serving our country abroad and within the United States.
Hey, we hit our daily goal, too.
So the Department of Defense is America's largest agency, and I think it's important that we back them any way we can. And remember, the post office has Army, Navy, and Marine stamps now that you can buy, the Forever stamp. So if that's something that you're into, that would be cool. God bless the panel. God bless all the people that come here, and obviously Sam for what you do.
Thank you, James. Oh, let me put together here. There we go. Okay, Dave. Oh, I think Dave, are you there? Can't hear you.
He's got to get the headset. There he is.
Okay. Can't hear you. I don't know what's going on. Alex, are you there? Well, I thought we had Alex on, but maybe not. All right. Well, maybe we're oh, Alex? Can you hear me, Alex?
Can you hear me now?
Okay, go ahead with final thoughts, Alex.
Yeah.
Now he's freezing. You're freezing again, Alex. You're freezing. I can't freezing, Alex. Dave, why don't you move to final thoughts?
Trump is meeting with the president of the Republic of South America, hopefully signing a getting a tariff deal today. So he's always working. What tonight and tomorrow brings is pretty exciting. So
yeah.
I appreciate everybody.
100%, I agree. All right, everybody. Just kind of been in transit, so we can't really get his final thoughts today. But I want to thank everybody. I still can't believe that we hit 75,000 like that.
Blister on my finger from much.
Well, Alex, you want to try for final thoughts? We can hear you now. No, he's gone. All right. Everybody at home being here, it wouldn't be possible without you. Well, I'm just getting bits and pieces. So anyway, everybody, we'll be back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Please join us. And thank you. Don the Third G, all of the people that have sent all the gifts today. That's just wonderful. Thank you, everybody. As I say every day, remember, the best is yet to come. So everybody, have a great day all tomorrow, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys. Thanks, guys.